Hello there. I am Dr. Joseph E. Byrne, and I will be your instructor for English 329B, English Literature on Film in the 21st Century. This is what I call a one-take video. Take, you may have heard it before, that is a film term. A take is an attempted shot in a film. Oftentimes directors take many takes in order to find a shot that pleases them, and then they just put it all together in the editing room. Anyway, what I mean by one take is that I hope to get this done in one try. So, in other words, this is very informal. Someday, hopefully, I'll learn to edit video and can add interesting things, but in the meantime, this is just going to be a talking head video for about 10 minutes. And in fact, I will be doing one of these videos for all of the films on our syllabus. In fact, to be honest, I did them all when I taught the class before over the summer, which actually had 3 more movies, so the numbering that I mentioned in the videos is a little bit off. But I will cover all the movies on the syllabus, starting with The Tempest. First, a word on mise en scène. That is a French term. It is a film term. It basically means everything that is in the shot, the details. So here you see, behind me, a picture of the immortal bard, William Shakespeare. So it's only appropriate he should be there since I'm going to be talking about The Tempest, William Shakespeare's The Tempest, in this video. Also, there you can see Watchmen there, which of course will be our last movie, and I'll be doing a separate video on that. Okay, so it's about 2 minutes in. I'm hopefully get everything else done in the next 8 minutes. But anyway, this shelf here, just to mention, that's my big book shelf for folios and quartos and what have you. So that's why, well, it's a big shelf with big books on it. Anyway, actually in these videos I'm going to be saying quite a lot about books, and in this video I'll be talking a little bit about Shakespeare's, my edition of Shakespeare. Okay. Let me say first a few things about me and the bard in terms of my personal relationship with the bard. No, my history with Shakespeare. Okay, I have got some notes down here. Okay, there definitely were editions of Shakespeare in the house when I was growing up as a kid. In fact, my mom had some from her college days. So we're talking 1940s, individual editions of each of the plays in these very small green cloth covered books. I used to have copies of them, or I used to have 1 or 2 of those, but I don't know where they've gone. But in the meantime, so Shakespeare early on. In high school, sophomore year, my English class, we did a modern updating of The Merchant of Venice. I think I was Antonio in it. I do recall I had one line, and when it came for the day for us to actually perform our modernized updating of Shakespeare, I think I forgot my line. I just stood there on stage going, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, however, when I got to college, I actually was in the theater company, and we did... I was in 2 Shakespeare plays. We did Taming of the Shrew. I was Lucentio, the young romantic lead, and then then I was in Romeo and Juliet. In that one, I was the County Paris. So he's the one Juliet kills herself so that she doesn't have to marry. Needless to say, that made me feel really good playing that part. But anyway, it was interesting being in Shakespeare. One thing about Shakespeare, if you've ever read a Shakespeare play, is whenever you drop your lines, there really is nothing you can do about it, because unless you can extemporize in iambic pentameter in Elizabethan English, I can't do that. But anyway, also in college, when I first came to college, I had a hat, you know, a ball cap that said Shakespeare on it. I thought this was great. I had the Shakespeare hat. Then someone pointed out to me that it was actually a hat that was advertising the Shakespeare fishing rod. Apparently there's a company called Shakespeare that makes fishing tools. Anyway, I also took Shakespeare in college as well. I got a B in that course. Usually I got A's, but I got a B because I dared to try to prove that Shakespeare was Catholic. He wasn't, but anyway, I thought it was worth a try. So that's me and the Bard. So I'm a fan of Shakespeare, a Shakespeare nerd, I suppose. I've seen many different productions. And so, I mean, one reason why I wanted to, why I added Shakespeare, The Tempest, to the syllabus, more or less at the last minute, replacing Alice in Wonderland, was that I thought, you know, a literary adaptation class should have a Shakespeare film on the syllabus. So, and also I was, well, for me, teaching film is I'm always concerned about somehow bringing in women directors, because oftentimes women directed films don't make it onto a syllabus, a film syllabus. So Julie Taymor, I've actually taught one of her films before, Across the Universe, her Beatles musical. I'm a great admirer of Julie Taymor. She's a female director. She's a very artistic director. I thought it would be appropriate to put The Tempest on the syllabus. It also fits better in terms of the chronology of the course, in that, you know, we start in 1611, and then we move on from there to 18th century Tristram Shandy, and then of course from there to Jane Austen in the early 19th century. So it fits a little better in that regard. So that's more or less why I've added The Tempest to the syllabus, and why it was such trouble in terms of taking me a while to put up my essay. But I just thought it was important. And also this video is, you know, I had to redo this video. So not a lot of trouble, but it's worth it because it's Shakespeare. So, okay, I got about 8 minutes. Yeah, I'm mostly done. But just let me say a few things about the book itself. You know, that's what I'll be doing in these videos a lot, is I'll be bringing out my books. I'm very interested in sort of the bibliographic, or the, you know, the book aspect of things, since that's what we're doing in this course. So in a sense, when you're talking about adapting a book into a film, it's probably good to at least talk about the material form of the book itself. So in that regard, this is my complete Pelican Shakespeare. It has all the plays in it. This is the 1623 folio, well, a facsimile of it, with the picture of William Shakespeare. Of course, it says comedies, histories, and tragedies. Nothing in there about romances. That was a later category. Let's see. Here we have the catalog, or, you know, basically the table of contents of the plays in it. You'll see that The Tempest is considered a comedy, and it's the first play in the 1623 folio. That's the opening page. So it's just to note that many editions now put The Tempest last, because many people think it was Shakespeare's last play, but in the 1623 folio it was the first play. So in terms of, you know, where it is, that's kind of interesting, I think. Okay. Another thing about this edition, and about Shakespeare in general, is oftentimes, at least it's true for me, that we first get our introduction to scholarly editions of books mostly when we're doing Shakespeare. So this one has an introduction, has, you know, a lot of different things called part of what's called the critical apparatus. And here's a picture of, you know, the Globe Theater of Shakespeare's day, many such interesting things like that. But so here is, typically when you read Shakespeare, you're going to have these notes down here on the bottom, which basically are defining all the words that you don't know, and adding some sort of cultural information to give you some context for it. So that's an important part of a critical edition of any work, and most of the works on our syllabus have critical editions of some kind or another. But anyway, just the fact that you're reading and you're going down to the notes and reading that, and maybe going to the introduction or other parts of the book itself, that's a significant part of the experience of reading the work. So that was a problem with, well, that's a problem with any film version of Shakespeare, is that when you're reading the play, you have all of these little notes that help you figure out what's going on and who is who and so on. But when you're watching a film, particularly in English, Shakespearean English, you don't have any notes. I've kind of joked with some people that maybe Shakespeare film should have subtitles. There's actually some I've seen some Scottish films that actually they're speaking in a Scottish idiom of English, but they have subtitles because it's difficult to figure out. Okay, I am more or less done here. So as I said, there will be other videos like this, and I just, it's important for me to put up these videos just so that you get a sense of, well, you see my face, but you also get a sense of my sort of informal lecture style. So enjoy it, and enjoy the rest of the class, and see you all online.